The Trump class is a proposed battleship program for the U.S. Navy. It comes amid a U.S. naval shipbuilding crisis and it will be the first battleship built since 1946. The battleship was thought to be useless in modern warfare after the rise of aircraft bombers and submarines, which would be able to sink a battleship easily. But since then, naval warfare has changed significantly. So what is the Trump class battleship? It is expected the ship will be around 35 to 40,000 tons, which is around 4 times the weight of an Arleigh Burke-class destroyer. It will be around 260 meters long and 35 meters wide, which is approximately 40% larger than an Arleigh Burke-class destroyer. In terms of weapons, right now it's expected to have 12 cells to launch future surface launch cruise missiles, which is essentially going to be ICBMs, possibly even carrying nuclear warheads. The Trump class is expected to have 128 vertical launch cells for multiple types of guided missiles. It is surprising for a battleship of this size to only have 128 cells, as that this is the same number as the Ticonderoga class cruiser, which is a ship much smaller. The ship will also feature a large 32 MJ railgun and 2 5-inch naval cannons, all of which are at the front of the ship. I find it interesting as the Trump class has the same weapons systems and numbers as the Ticonderoga class cruiser with 2 5-inch guns and 128 vertical launch systems. It only adds the railgun and the 12 ICBM launches, but the design could change significantly over time and more missiles could be added. But what could pose a threat to this massive battleship? Aircraft are less necessary in naval combat, as the modern anti-air missiles packed into modern warships could destroy a jet, and with long-range radar they can be taken out from a distance. Submarines still appear to be a threat in the water. In 1981, the Canadian submarine was able to slip through a US carrier battle group and score a torpedo hit on the aircraft carrier in a simulated battle. And in 2005, a Swedish submarine was able to do the same thing. So the threat of submarines against large warships remains great. And this is why the question should be brought up: is building this massive modern battleship too risky? Is the reward for having them worth the risk of losing them? Since one torpedo or even one anti-ship missile from a simple submarine, frigate, or jet fighter could cripple a large warship. Plus, the US Navy has lower than expected destroyer numbers and production of them is slow. They still have a lack of smaller frigates for escort or maritime patrol duties, and the US still hasn't properly started a cruiser program to replace the aging Ticonderoga class cruisers. Is it worth dedicating time, money, and resources into a massive battleship production program when again they could easily be sunk by cheaper weapons?